Welcome to the meeting room at Global TV Talk Show, a broadcast service of globalbusinessnews.net.
This episode from the meeting room of Global TV Talk Show is brought to you by
The Bridge School, the accredited international online private school of choice, at bridgek12.org.
Porch Light Rental and Destination Services. Reduce your renter lump sum or managed relocation costs. Visit them at porchlightrental.com.
And by airs.com. With our full range of services, we can help design and manage your international relocation. Find us at airs.com.
Primestone Partners, featuring corporate, government, and developer housing solutions, as well as senior-level advisory services. Find them at primestonepartners.com.
And by International Auto Source. We are the vehicle experts for expats, featuring all major brands of automobiles with flexible solutions and financing. On the web at intlauto.com.
Become a global player in your field.
Cross Culture to Go provides virtual support for your global business and career success.
We can help you thrive in 140 plus countries and markets.
On the web at crossculturetogo.com.
Hi Ed, how are you?
Nice to see you. Ciao.
How are you doing?
Good, good. Thanks for being in this place.
No, thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, so you see I have the picture of Venice there, you see?
Yeah, that's you love Venice, isn't it?
I love it. Yeah, we've been there a lot of times. I can't wait to go back. Yeah.
Where are you in the States?
San Diego, California.
Oh, good. I've been there a few times. Hot right now, isn't it?
Right by the water here. We're by Seaport Village. It's 70. You go a few miles inland away from the water, it gets to be 90 to 100.
Yeah, I can imagine. I've been in California a few times during the summer, and it's hot. Yes.
Yeah, and we were just back from a few days out in Palm Springs area, which is about a 3.5-hour drive, 2.5-hour drive north of here towards LA. And it's about 100 miles east of LA, but it's in the desert, low desert. And the temperature was 118. And
why it was so it's still so famous for many VIP actors. Such a weather. Why it is probably during the winter is nice.
During the winter, it's a getaway, and it's a physically dramatic and very beautiful area. Weather-wise, and the way they made it, it's irrigated. There is an underground ocean under the desert, and someday it's going to run out, but right now it's got plenty of water in it, and so everything is green, surrounded by desert and high mountains, rugged mountains. So it's spectacular visuals, and the weather is clean air. During the winter, the high temperature mostly will be 60 to 75, which is like about 20, something like that, and so 22, and at night it gets cold, but like for instance it gets really hot beginning in June. And then it gets humid because the winds come up from Mexico, which is just down the road a few miles.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And that comes up from the Gulf of Mexico. They call them monsoons. And every afternoon in August, usually in the desert, there's thunderstorms. So humidity compared, mixed in with high temperature, it's unbearable. It stinks. And People leave town. They come here to San Diego.
Yeah, good. Okay, tell me how is the schedule of your, is it kind of discussion? What do you foresee? I mean,
Yeah. So
And-
I wanted to ask you that too. I was on your site on your LinkedIn, and I also looked at the Paradigm material. So it could be all of that. So this is for Monday coming up. So I'm thinking of two things, but you tell me what you're most comfortable with, because this is a public relations venture, and you have to think of it as a global PR thing for you, and Paradigm if you want to make it that too. Or we could just focus on one or the other. But I think we can do both. 30 minutes is our target time. We could do it faster, but um, 30 minutes is maximum for two people. If we have 3 or 4, then we have to go longer. But the idea is for you to give me some bullet points of very key information about which you want me to ask you for response. And so we have a dialogue rather than a webinar. And that is because through our research and experience, it retains the audience rather than they come in, take a look, and jump out. All right. And that always happens when somebody's giving a speech, guaranteed, doesn't matter what. But
I
so,
agree. Yes. Yeah.
yeah, so if there's a dialogue, a conversation, then it's like we're sitting in a cafe with a cappuccino or wine or something, you know, and that brings people in. Now, you can salt it, pepper it, you know, if you want, with asking 1 or 2 of your own guests to tune in, and they can come free, of course, and speak if they want. And it's like we're in a meeting, we're in a global meeting room. Or it could be just you and me. And if it's just you and me, it's very fine. I would like to recommend that you let me ask you about your practice and your position.
Very briefly. I don't like the idea that I'm doing this for promoting myself, you know.
Okay. So then what about Paradigm?
Have a look at something about Paradigm, yes. And then have a look. I've published a lot of quite a few short articles on Medium.
Okay.
And many are not about Italian issues only, you know, because I don't want to talk about the Italian visa of this or that, because otherwise people get bored.
Yeah.
Some of them are about citizenship by investment in general. Have a look, because I think quite some topics are more broad than talking purely about legal or Italian things, you know?
Yeah. Okay, that's just fine. Send me those bullet points, and then I'll just tee it up, give you the cue, and we have a dialogue, and then I'll come up with questions based upon what you say. I would rather leave it loose like that, but within boundaries, so that it provides your comfort and convenience. It helps me learn in advance by having the info in advance, and then also it helps me coordinate what I call talk flow. So about Paradigm, what, you know, I'd like to find out, like I know some of the principals already, some have been on my talk shows already, but not as Paradigm as themselves. So I was on the site, and I remember having a conversation, a talk show experience with Ben Sukia about 7 or 8 months ago, and he was telling me about the ideas, but he didn't announce anything. And then suddenly I see who's involved, and yeah, I know many of those people. So I'd like to recommend to Paradigm, through your good offices, that somebody from Paradigm comes on my show once a week and joins either a one-on-one discussion or joins one of our global panels. And so there's representation. And you know what I get out of it? I get more eyeballs and I get more audience following the individuals who will promote it to their own. And Paradigm wins because it's getting more elevated PR, not from Paradigm, but from me. That benefits Paradigm.
Yeah, let me see. Okay, can I send? Yeah, because I will send to the other guys at Paradigm. Can I send them just the invitation for the 12 that you send me?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yeah, and I'd like to know who's coming in advance.
Yeah. I'll ask them if someone wants to join for an informal chat. Even some of the new members, not only the founders.
Yeah, the new members would be great.
One of the purpose of Paradigm, it started from Ben and me. I told Ben, I've been knowing Ben for the last few years, and Ben is not a lawyer,
Yeah.
So the problem is that I'm with ELA, I'm with IBA. They are all quite very secluded. So you must be a lawyer, you must be a practicing lawyer. It's good for our practice. But then in our global mobility in general, there are many practitioners who do not have a very good enthusiasm, very good practitioners. So I told Ben, and Ben itself, was not able to go and speak in one of the events or join some of the conferences. So I told Ben, why don't we start something more inclusive first, and then more flexible? We are using now this Discord platform. I want younger people to be immediately involved, not to wait 5 or 10 years before being asked, to speak in a panel or to write an article. That was my original idea. That's why we started. And you don't need to be a lawyer. Relocation, it can be tax, it can be anyone dealing with a global migration issues. I mean, I've been writing some short articles about sustainable migration. You will find in one of my Medium articles. I wrote the first article I wrote for Paradigm, for example. So we are very open, and we don't want to be competing with ELA or IBA. It's completely something different,
Yeah, I like that idea. And there's a lot of very interesting people, like, for instance, in Brazil, Juliana has been on my program. Yeah.
No, definitely. And we are ready. I mean, we are very, very small. We just started. We are 50, 60 members. There will be, hopefully, again, more involvement, especially for younger people. I want them to get some visibility and trying to work on some collective articles. Some of them are a bit scared, to write even a short articles because they don't feel are enough experience. So if we write a piece in 5 or 6 and we co-author, I can supervise, and then they can have their name on some written things or give the opportunity to younger people to be more involved. And I've been waiting before being involved with IBA, even now I'm a senior, but if you are not in one committee or only a selected group of people are asked to do this or that, I don't like this idea of corporativism,
Yeah, I get it. Good. So you use my show as a PR device. That's all. Simple.
Yeah. But then I don't. Do you do it? What shall I do? Because you can record it and then we will circulate later.
Yeah, we do both. It's broadcast live, and simultaneously it's recorded. But we do a little snipping, a little editing, and we add in our TV stuff, and we have some advertisers, and then the show is ready for on demand. We put it on our website. That links to our YouTube channel, and both are available free 24/7.
Yeah.
And then I circulate it out through my LinkedIn.
So I will wait after to use for our social media. I don't think now. Before, what do you usually do? You announce in advance?
I do some of that. It depends. I'll tell you, I don't do it all the time on purpose. because some of our guests are not ready. I don't want to scare them because it's a massive audience. And it's sometimes better to wait and have a good experience, one-on-one, quiet, even though it's broadcast live, it's recorded. And then we tighten it up with color or sound or whatever, and we add in our broadcasting things that I think you've seen.
Just for me to know, I will wait after. I mean, once it's ready, we can circulate you for our social media and so on.
For anytime you want, anything.
No, for me, it's not a problem, even Monday,
right.
Because, I will be discussing with you of topics I know. So it's not an issue to...
Yeah.
We interrupt this broadcast to bring you a timely announcement.
Hi, I'm Sergey Gorbatov.
I'm Angela Lane.
Together we're researchers, writers and practitioners in the field of human resources.
And we've also been multi-country, multi-assignment career expats.
We owe our professional development and growth to a very large extent to the international assignment opportunities that we have had.
But in a world where distributed work may become the norm, we also want to understand what will happen to the nature, duration, and purpose of international assignments.
Together with our colleague, Julian Dalzell from the University of South Carolina, we're undertaking a study on the future of expatriation.
And we'd value your contribution. You can participate in this important study by completing a simple 10-minute questionnaire.
Access the questionnaire by typing in your browser tinyurl.com/expert-study. That's tinyurl.com/expert-study. You can also find the link here on ED's website next to this video.
Thank you for joining us in this study. In return for your contribution, we'll provide you with a copy of our research.
And of course, you'll be invited to an exclusive webinar hosted by ED, where we will share our findings right here on Global Business News.
And so please go to tinyurl.com/expat-study. Take the survey so that we can better understand the future of expatriation.
Something that's really neat is that the Bridge School partners with various organizations to provide learning for their students. For example, we partner with a major ballet company, and we are able to enroll several of their students into our school. So now not only is the student able to participate in a school and have a seamless transition while they're very active in their ballet career, but now they have other dancers that are with them that are doing some of the same courses. So it's almost becoming a camaraderie where they're taking similar courses, they're working together on their ballet, and really being able to form this great partnership with these organizations to provide a needed service. A lot of times there are student athletes who will spend hours and hours at the gym or at the basketball courts, wherever it is. And if they're attending a traditional school, they're in school from 8 to 3. They get a quick snack, and then they're at the gym for 3 to 4 hours in the evening. Coming to us and having that partnership, they're able to break that up throughout the day. They can have a morning practice, get some schooling in, have an afternoon practice, finish their schooling in the evening. So there's that flexibility. And additionally, if there are tournaments or performances, it's fantastic because if there's a week where they have shows straight through, they can take that week off of learning and then pick back up when they're done. So it offers this great flexibility. And for the program owners of these sports leagues, it is a win-win situation for them because they see this need. They see this need that their students need to make sure that they are obtaining the grades necessary to be successful adults in our country and in other countries. But it provides them an environment where they can be successful at both.
I'd also like to ask you to comment about your interest in Taiwan.
Yeah, please mention Taipei.
Taipei.
You know why? You
No.
probably know the sensitivity, especially in the last few years, of the relationship between China and Taiwan.
Yeah.
So anytime you touch Taiwan for China is crazy.
Yeah, but Taipei doesn't matter.
Because Taiwan is seen as a separate country and it gives a lot of, they call it a province. So for some years now, I stopped using, when I talk with Chinese, Taiwan. I live in Taipei, I teach in Taipei, you know.
Yeah. Okay. And they don't care, right? And they are okay with that.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But
So
you know, I tell you an anecdote. I'm registered in Taiwan, I can mention to you, since a few years, as a foreign practicing lawyer. I got the license to the Ministry of Justice. So I have a shop in Chinese, everything. I spoke a few years ago in a seminar in Guangzhou, south of China. And the organizer took my CV in Chinese probably from my first website, you know, traditional characters. And my CV was saying that I was registered in Taiwan with the Ministry of Foreign Justice. After a few days, they called me and they said they received 4 or 5 calls from people who were complaining and asking that they remove from the Chinese characters one character, which was symbolizing like China, because the Ministry of Foreign Justice in Taiwan is claiming to be China. So they probably use a character. 4 or 5 people look at my CV. So, and I'm not a Nobel Prize, I'm not so famous. Imagine the sensitivity. They asked the organizer, you should immediately remove the character from Marco's CV because this is correct, is mistaken.
Yeah, it's craziness, huh? Boy. Yeah, I know. Watch out. So I have a good friend in Taipei who went to Harvard, and I didn't go to Harvard, but I have family members that went, so I know a lot about it. But so anyway, he's married. A long time ago, he married a girl who was at Harvard and moved to Taipei. All right.
Is he a lawyer?
No, he's a marketing guy, and he's been involved in many businesses. And one of the things he's working on right now and has been working on is communications PR for doctors and some artificial intelligence and robotics connected with entrepreneurial doctors. A lot of doctors have small practices and they're basically entrepreneurs, small businesses, even though they may make a lot of money. So they need a lot of help. And so he's developed a business advisory group to help doctors become better business people. He's doing really well there.
But his wife is Taiwanese.
Yeah.
Yeah. But for living is a wonderful country. Wonderful country.
Yeah, I've never been there. I would like to do that.
What is good is a 50-50 Chinese and Japanese for culture. They were ruled by Japan until 1945 or 60 years. And the culture is a good mixture because they are Chinese. So they have this, the Chinese, they talk loud, the kind of Italians, but they have also some, but then they have this well-ordered and well-shaped mind, Japanese style. So you don't feel you are in Switzerland or in Japan, you feel like you are in Italy, an ordered Italy, And the food, they are so friendly. I love Taipei, really, really my second home. Actually, until last year, because I now have been locked in Italy since January 2020. I was spending more time in Asia than in Italy.
Well, this is very cool to meet you. Thank you. And so we'll have, you and I will have a good talk, and I invite you to invite some other people to Monday. All right.
have a look. I will give you some bullet points.
Yeah.
But then have a look at because some of my articles are purely on Italian matters. So Italian citizenship, perhaps funny, but while others, there is one about abuse of dual nationality, for instance. You can't eat the cake. A few others are very broad topics.
Good.
Citizenship by investment in the 13th century, for example.
So I want to meet you personally someday. I can come to Milano.
No, you come better because I live in Tuscany.
Oh, Tuscany, that's better. Okay.
I live near Siena.
Yes, I'm familiar with that area a lot. Yeah, and so
we will have when you come and visit me, we'll have a Fiorentina and a glass of Brunello.
On, yes.
Not only a glass, sorry, at least one bottle.
At least one bottle each.
Yeah, okay.
All right, thank you.
Great. I'll send you some bullet points, and then I'll ask someone of Paradigm to join us on Monday.
Yeah, and now I'm going to send you a couple of links to other things that I'm doing, just so you get a broad picture of me.
Okay, great.
All right, thank you. Ciao.
Ciao, buon fine settimana. Have a good weekend.
You too.
Thank you for joining us in the meeting room at Global TV Talk Show.
Have a wonderful day, and stay safe.